All right. God is good and all the time. Thank y'all for coming out to DTL All-Inclusive Church. My name is Pastor Malpractice, y'all, and today on February 28th, we will be addressing an issue in the black community, and that is in 2026, y'all being ashy is unacceptable, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I need y'all to open your holy books to the book of the Butters, where it reads, I used to start fires with my handshakes. My fists used to be a recycling bin filled to the brim with powdered donuts. My body was drier than a Republican Party, because it's politics to this skin shit, y'all. Like in middle school, my face made the Sahara look like the Amazon. My black bush pick would push out a gust of dandruff, y'all. I was so ashy, I got a call back for a job interview. So wilted, weathered, waterless, and white, I waved at a policeman and he waved back. And that is when I knew that ash was the work of the devil and I had to find God, y'all. Sweet salvation and Satan scorning the ash from his fire. In Genesis 1:27, it reads, so God created cocoa butter in his own image. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Oh, commandment 3, thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor. I repent, lavishly lotioned, Lord, for all the cracked lips and pasty palms that I know. Please forgive the ashy, for they do not know what they do. We praise you, all moisturized aloe vera, aquafina, or scented God, because you have blessed us with the butters in a world that always wants to see us burn. How to accept the skin we in, even when it is covered in ash, and you can't tell me this ain't metaphor for black resurrection, for resolution, for how black don't crack, because we don't let it. How we moisturize like our bodies are all we got. I'm moisturized like this world may have me greet God at any moment, and I need to be prepared. So may the church say, I will be prepared. When the church say, I will be prepared to take the name of the coconut oil, the olive oil, and the holy shade, and let the church say, we refuse to be as shade, right? But it's 7:45, right? And I'm not gonna lie, my little year just texted me, what you doing, right? With the eye emojis. You know what I'm saying? And if I was being honest, I would say that my mental health been so bad that I'm physically in pain. Like I couldn't make it to work today, so I've been trying to sleep off my shame, y'all. But being a smooth man I am, I'm gonna play it cool. I'm like, shit, baby, I'm cooling. I'm just waiting for you. She says I'll be there in 25 minutes, and that's a problem because it looks like my tropical depression just hit my room, y'all. I got 25 minutes to get my shit straight. It's a mountain of dirty dishes because I've had so much on my plate, a mountain of dirty laundry that coats the ground like confetti, so I treat my closet like a Thanksgiving dinner to a small belly. I hide my weed the same way I hide my problems because she knows I only get stoned when I hit rock bottom. My elbow grease all the self-doubt out of me that tells me that I'm not enough. I throw away my Chardonnay because she can't see what I got bottled up. I got 21 minutes to make it look like my tears ain't make a basin in these bed sheets, but I got a plan. I grab all new linen. It looked like I got new pillows, but it's a sham. I grab full incense because I can't let her smell the grime of this grief or let that ick impede on our hours. And no matter how long this cleaning shit take, I still got to take a shower. I got a dime coming over, and I can't let her hear a playlist that's all Glocks and sirens. Can't do the dishes when I myself feel like I've been on an island, y'all. I even get triggered when I vacuum because I too been spiraling. My mother taught me that when you clean a room, you put all your shit in the middle of the floor. Same way you have to see all your hate before you're ready for love, but I cover everything with the comforter and sweep my mental health under the rug. I live alone with monsters under the bed that I've learned to ignore. ignore. I changed my bed sheets when getting out of bed. It's felt like a chore, y'all. I've avoided the mirror for so long. Even my vanity is insecure. I got 4 minutes to Clorox my coping and my fiending. 4 minutes to do a season's worth of spring cleaning. But I know how to make squeaky clean after a storm. How to look perfect in private when I really want to panic in public. I know how to mop so fast you will never guess. I just wanted to kick the bucket. I've grown to become someone that lets go but gets itself together so fast that it's toxic. But my toxic trait is knowing I could be the main character of a murder scene and still leave the scene spotless. But dating in your 20s is like learning how to swim in a volcano. This thing on? This thing on? This thing on? Dating in your 20s is like learning how to swim, but you're in a volcano. It's like learning how to take your first steps, but you're on a highway, y'all. Dating in your 20s is falling asleep with people that sleep on your connection, exchanging childhood trauma for temporary affection, y'all. Dating in your 20s makes dating in your teens seem like nothing was really real, but it makes the idea of dating in your 40s, 50s, and 60s seem like hell, just broken promises, doubt, and false hope, because everybody got riz, but nobody got results. I want you to love me like the only hourglass you've ever seen is yourself, like I'm a whole new world that deserves your explore. So if you're going to treat me like a hotel, at least leave your baggage at the door, y'all. This dating in your 20s thing is like trying to find hay in a needle stack, like a whole new world, like hay in a needle stack, navigating blood and blades just to reach the last straw. It's first dates today and it's crickets tomorrow. It's y'all, I swear to God, the next time somebody asks me my favorite color, I'm going to... The next time somebody asks me my favorite color, I might end it all, y'all. This decade has taught me how to be deathbed honest, even on the first date. Like, I may not be rich, but I am still resourceful. I may not be picture perfect yet, but we can still be Polaroid. Like, yes, I am trustworthy, but I am not your fucking therapist. Because dating in your 20s is all the unhealthy ways of decompression. It's dating in the 1920s where the only ending is a Great Depression. This test has been nothing but ephemeral affirmations and secrets so seductive only God can hear it. So fuck how you fuck. I need you to feed my spirit. I don't want you to call me a king. I need you to believe in my dream. I don't need a roster. I need someone on my team. So the next partner of mine will be a Mrs. and not a miss. And don't try to take my breath away, because I'm just an asthmatic trying to make albuterol of this abyss. I don't want a ride or die. I need a drive into the sunset type of chick. So fuck a Valentine. I want vows, violence, and vengeance on the villain in your story. I want to be with you, the movie that we binge, when dating in your 20s is the scroll on Tinder, when most of these niggas be off the hinge. It's people that hate you but want to keep you near. It's learning that you can be ghosted by somebody who never actually disappears. And these days, my heart hurts like a holiday at home alone. But y'all, dating in your 20s is learning to be home alone. It's learning that every situationship don't deserve your soul, that every attachment don't need your address. And dating in your 20s is learning that when it comes to me and you, it's not just about the flowers we receive, but the gardens that we could still grow into. But a nursery is where small children are placed where their parents are away, where the most innocent infants are kept when the people that produce them can't appear. But a nursery is also where small plants are placed while waiting to be moved somewhere safe. So how come on March 24th, 1999, some nigga with the trigger turned my father into fertilizer? And how I'm supposed to write poems about flowers when cowards then turned all my carnations into carnage? How I'm supposed to blossom when before I got the chance to bloom, I had to learn the Bible of the bang. Fact, the word pistol spelled with an I-L means the female organ of the flower, meaning that in one of the oldest organisms of all time, the pistol is not a tool for revenge, but for reproduction. The pistol is made of 3 parts: the stigma, ovary, and the style. The ovary be belly of beast introducing barrel to boy. The style be the tragic fashion in which we not drop dead gorgeous until we casket. The stigma be that sons of the soil don't deserve to have their cases solved. And if you ever see me with a pistol, know that the first time I saw a 9. I was so small I could have been measured in millimeters. And the boy born in cold blood begets the teen that needs a heater. When I hear the word pistol, I think of my father's fate and all that anger. How when I got dizzy at the wake, the bouquet spun like a chamber. A funeral spray is a bouquet placed on a casket's last day, but a funeral spray is also thoughts of spinning the block and turning that death into more dismay. This country don't give niggas flowers, they give us pistols. Spread gunpowder like pollen, use bullets like band-aids. Give us a ski mask when we just want to breathe, but we were raised by women who can water the world, welcoming willows that refuse to weep, but we were also raised by men who can never raise their kids as well as they raise their peace. The pistol is made of carpals. They disperse seeds like dispatch, but carpal tunnel is paralysis and trigger finger and thumb when son of gunshot wants his lick back. And ain't no magnolias in these magazines, just columbines and these calibers. And I wish every gat was a grapevine, that every casket was a corsage, that all my unalive was undead. But it's always enough tools to kill a nigga in a bloodshed. So I enamel my hammer, same way I'm rose without raising a steel. I've been seeing a lot of my kin get killed, so don't tell me to get a grip, because I will. And if you ever see me with a pistol, no, I had a bleeding heart and a heavy iris. No, I wasn't a corpse flower until all that fire. No, I would have always chose to be a violet before violence. But when I die, let me go out on a bed of roses, getting all my flowers, holding nothing but a pistol. And I write poems for my grandfather, who for half my life I believed was the only man in my family to die of natural causes. Recently, I learned that he died from a fatal yet preventable infection at his hospital. And my grandfather's organs went silent because they completed their hymnal today. Today, I learned that they were muted. Learned that some doctor had enough shrugged shoulder to allow his body to decompose. And just when I'm starting to think that white doves exist, I'm told that another one of my black birds had their wings clipped. And it's inhumane to be relieved that a loved one lost fair and square, that the earth swallowed them and did not regurgitate salted blood. But y'all, I can't even have a candlelight without somebody else's guns, nooses, accidents, or apathy showing up unannounced. I can't even have a relative move into their casket without the ringing echo that they were evicted from their bodies. I paused. Death tries me early, holds the gun to my face and tells me it's time to accept my inheritance. It is now that I realize that we live in a country that believes in the Second Amendment more than second chances. It is now that I realize that we beg for our breath with our poems, which is to say black people plead for our life with the whitest parts of our bodies. Resume. Doctors assume that just because my pop's a veteran, that his skin is invincible. How come people look at black and see armor but don't see fatigue? How come black bodies have to rot and slide out of shackles before white people check their pockets for the key? But that night is locked in my mind. My mother's cries blare like an ambulance that came too late, and I, tombstone quiet, learned apathy early, how to turn black death into white noise. Because when you're numb to trauma, it's always dead weight in your walk. Always in America, eyeing your Achilles. The way I walk through this life has nothing to do with how I sag my pants and everything to do with how I keep my father's bones in my back pocket. Use daddy's last breath as a reserve tank or spare tire. When all you're around is death, you learn to stop trying to avoid it and learn to make yours more meaningful. So which is to say, when death tries me again, I surrender with two closed fists. You are not taking my breath if I give it to the earth. So my promise to the dirt is a full feast. You will have my bones, my meat, my tomorrow, without the aftertaste of shell casings or supremacy. You will take me, a complete answer. But the year an ode from the last black star to the first black astronomer, a letter from a dying DC to Benjamin Banneker. Dear Dr. Banneker, my scientific name is Malachi, but I come from a constellation called the Birds. We are a flock that refuses to forget about our homeland, and that is the District of Columbia. And the place that you helped refine became a booming place for the you and me, but as soon as we turned ashes into architecture, now we an afterthought on the auction block. Here, my ox and my ops both be more memorial than magazine, but they don't give us no monuments no more, Dr. Banneker. I think you deserve all the homage, but to be honest, I never really liked the stars, the celebrities, I mean. The ones that pop like grease, they burn but don't bake. They always show up and get something from the cookout, but never managed to bring a plate. Like I used to want to be a surgeon, then Ben Carson turned out to be a sellout. I used to want to be the president, then realized Barack had a higher body count than anybody in my hood, and every celebrity I ever loved and let me down. Everybody that said they always have our back turned their back as soon as they got the crown. So Dr. Banneker, I'd like to introduce you to my favorite star. This is my mother. We started calling her Penny because she was born the color of copper, but we kept calling her Penny because when the money fluctuated, she never changed. And she may never know fame, but she is the dopest star I know, y'all. Known for how her tone could turn a man with bricks for fists into public housing. So there's no doubting she could take this teenage pregnancy and turn a black hole into a star, y'all. Fact, most stars come in pairs. They look conjoined from afar, but up close, they just circle around a common center of gravity. Some days I'm heat, my mother gassed me up through all kinds of weather, but I reciprocate because I be damned if we don't shine together. And in the city I'm from, the only star I want to be is her son. So Dr. Banneker, I don't think that participation deserves a trophy on the banister, but I do think the family that took a crooked smile and made a perfect one at least deserve a plaque. And sometimes I take a page of your almanac, because when George Washington fired the man that had our designs, you kept our designs in your mind. And same way I've been writing these poems, and ever since my grandfather died, I've been trying to write enough grandfather poems to stop time. Dr. Banneker, I heard you used to study the sun, moon, and stars so legit that you could predict an eclipse. So tell me, how many times should I watch cranes crush my community before I forecast catastrophe? How many times should I concede to these corporations before I call what they did to our city a calamity? I refuse to give myself up for the sake of seeming harmless. I refuse to be a flash in the pan if my people are still starving. So fuck being famous. I want to be a star aligned with the divine, outshining my time. I don't want to be a star like the Walk of Fame. I want to be a star like the Big Bang that changes the world forever. But the year is 2045, and I am the last native left in DC. A man on a bullhorn tells me I have 3 minutes to leave the city I'm from, or they'll open fire on me. And this gives me a sense of pride, because death can't scare someone whose home has vanished before his eyes, y'all. And I knew this day would come. Like I heard that if you yell at the top of your lungs in the city you're from, that breath can circle the earth and catch you when you need it the most. So I pray my poems be planet-sized propellers that prevent my people from being pushed across the Potomac. This poem is about how when they took over our city, they never spoke on our highs, but always spoke of our lows. The poem started, y'all, when somebody told me I should be scared of getting robbed in DC. I'm not. I'm scared of Starbucks, dog parks, and Trader Joe's. I swear to God, my place, the place that I'm from, is not parsley for your palate, not an Instagram caption, not a pit stop, not a revolving door. It's not even the nation's capital anymore, because no amount of capital can unbound the blood bond I got with these blocks, the soul ties I got with these streets. The year is 2045, and I am the last native left in DC. Insert mayor is on her 7 millionth term. Martin Luther King Avenue is now Wall Street. Skyscrapers lace what used to be the heart of the South Side, and y'all, that South Side is all that I got left. So my city, I will 1965 ride for it, because what is a city if not the people that died for it? My body belongs with my people. It was never up for audit. Fuck your mortgage. You do not own this land just because you bought it. The year is 2045, and I will always be the one that talked about DC like a state. Remember, I was the congas that never lost their crank, y'all. Remember, I was the last one that didn't bend or break, y'all. Remember I died for the place that gave me life. Poem. All right. I got one more for y'all. Okay? All right. Cool. When I say spoken, y'all say words. Spoken. All right. Like I said, y'all can follow me anywhere. See Malpractice. Love Philly. Y'all been great. So I was born on January 6th in the nation's capital. So on my 22nd birthday, after them white people stormed the Capitol, first off, what the fuck is wrong with them? The second was, I'm about to call my favorite person. I said, if they're gonna take over the outside, we need to take over the inside, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, I need some head. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I need so much brain that I gain wisdom. But the quote goes, sex is cool, but have you ever fucked the system? And I reply, I've been saving all that lust for Lady Liberty, brainstorming how we could change this system in a different way until she understands how I forget my poem and go back to where I messed up at because I was born on January 6th, all right? I was born on January 6th. Capricorn shit. And my first thought was, I actually want to read a different poem. I want to go out on something else. I don't want to do that poem, actually. I want to do this last joint in honor of Black. No, I appreciate it. I kind of don't want to. I changed my mind. Ain't gonna do that? All right, cool. I have one last poem, because this is how I kind of want to go out in Black History Month. I have a book that was released. It's called Before We Gone. I just won a book deal last... all right, so let me tell you something. I came up here with my locks and my shea butter. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even got no books. It's on my website and everything, you know what I'm saying? It's on my Instagram page. Y'all follow me, I can find the link. But yeah, I came up here with good vibes, pure intentions, and some bombs. So I don't got no books today. They're generally only $25. All right, remember that. Send a voice note to yourself later and be like, it was only $25, okay? But this is one of my favorite poems from the book. And this is how we're gonna close out our night. Or for myself. List the white people invited to the cookout. Or ain't no white people invited to the cookout. Maybe Tommy Egan from Power can like chauffeur some of the cousins. Maybe Adele can say hello from the other side. And y'all better not save no M&Ms for Marshall Mathers, because TT put her foot in all the food and can't nobody be here that thinks salt is spicy. Okay? So save all your raisins and your fuck-ass tuna salad, because ain't gonna be no pumpkin pie in my park. This is not an all lives matter type of party. This is if you can't say the N-word, you're not allowed N-word. This is reunion, communion, and homecoming. But most importantly, it's nobody's home going. Tomorrow, we will all awake without a wake to attend. Turn a tie-dye shirt into Thanksgiving. Let garlic and green pepper gallivant across the grill. Let the line for the food wrap around the block like auntie's hands around a loose lock. And at our function, everybody got to cook because everybody can't cook, because if you wash the chicken in the bare ass sink, you are not invited. And that's nasty. Because at our function, we eat good, but nobody is devoured, where even the eggs are only scrambled because the devil is not welcome here. At our function, we love on our dogs, but nobody kisses their dog on the mouth because that is nasty. And ain't none of y'all invited to the cookout because too many of us been starving to be passing out plates. Tummies touch too many ribs to Tupperware in the name of diversity. I got mouths to feed. Here we don't say Black Lives Matter because we know that already and we act like it. We do poetry at the dark in the park without a shadow of Shakespeare. We just learn to hear Langston in all of our hues. And Angelou reminds us we deserve to be admired too. We line dance, alliteration, stroll like probate, wobble like ain't nobody worried about standing they ground. Here we listen to Nas and DMX while we feel our belly, where we listen to Simone but nobody brings a Nina. This is reunion, communion, graduation, birthday, and homecoming. But most importantly, it is nobody's home going. Ain't no shooting dice because we done gambled enough with this life. We two-step out of this abyss and grandma is the only one with a switch. We get lit but nobody get lit up. We roast each other but nobody gets burned. Nobody clutches their purse or gas or confetti Confederate flags or badge, and nobody calls the police over small beef because that shit is nasty. Today, we plot revolution or riot or renaissance, and bonnets and do-rags turn corporate into communion, turn chaos into church, gangster rap into gospel, grieving into a reason to eat good food. And today, at this cookout, at this function, all you have to do is stay black and live. Poem, yeah, poem. Poem. Make a little more noise of the whole thing. Whole set.